Hey gamers, Tony here from the Hapog Gaming Zone official gaming network of Hapog Computer Works, and I'm excited to be back with you for another video today. We're actually going to be continuing our series where we take the latest desktop graphics video cards and combine them with the Hapog HD PVR2. Now, as you know, in the past few weeks we've done some really cool AMD based cards. We've done the 7870, we've done the 7970, we have a 7790 coming up. I'm trying to remember all the numbers. And a lot of commenters have enjoyed those videos, but they've also asked me, when are you going to do your first NVIDIA card? And I'm excited that we have a company on board, and I think they're the premier company for doing NVIDIA cards, and that is EVGA. And they have actually sent us over the 660 GTX card. And this is actually the Superclocked Signature 2 edition, so it's the Superclocked Signature 660, that's right, that's a mouthful, the GTX card from EVGA. And I'm really excited to plug this in with the Hapog HD PVR2, see what kind of performance we can get when trying to capture the best high-definition PC gaming footage using this with the HD PVR2. Now, we do some kind of unique videos with these cards, and a lot of people, I mean, literally, I think 90% of the reviewers out there for these cards, they do the same types of benchmarks, use the same programs, and you basically watch the same videos. And we've tried to take more of a practical approach than that. Those are great videos, and they're very educational, but we want cards that you can open up and gamers can open up, combine them with the HD PVR2, and get great performance right out of the box. And so we just give them a brief overview. We test the performance of these cards with some of the leading games, and then also with the HD PVR2. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the box and see what some of the features are of the NVIDIA Superclocked Signature 2 series, the 660 from EVGA. Here we go. Alright, now that we have a close-up of the actual box, we can take a look at what this EVGA Superclocked Signature 2 GeForce GTX 660 card really has packed into it. So as you can see here, we have 2 GB of GDDR5, not bad at all. It's the memory inside. It is SLI compatible, DirectX 11, it's got the physics capable and 3D vision surround. And this is a PCI Express 3.0 card, which is backwards compatible with 2.0, of course. And it can do SLI as well and comes with the SLI cable. Flipping it over to the back, we kind of get the first picture of the card. We'll take an up-close look of the actual card in and of itself, first of all. And this can support up to 4 concurrent displays. So for those of you with multiple monitors, this would be a card that would be able to support up to 4. And then you can actually see some of the key features as well. So let's go ahead, now that we've taken a look at the box, and look at the actual physical card itself and talk a little bit about the build and design quality. Alright, so here's the actual physical card itself, and I want to say right off the bat that this is one of the most beautiful graphics cards I've seen. And you might think that's a little bit cheesy saying that it's beautiful, but it actually looks really, really nice, and I probably like this design more than any that I've seen so far, just because I like things that are sleek and clean and sharp looking, and this defines all of those. So actually, sorry, I apologize for the bubble wrap here, but it did ship in that with an anti-static wrap, and I just want to make sure I don't damage it at all on the hard surface table. So let's go ahead and pull this in a little bit closer. As you can see, we have 2 really big cooling fans here, and from everything I've read online, one of the best parts of the reviews of this card is that it stays really, really cool. So I'm excited to try that out for myself. This does have a plastic coating on that we will peel off before we actually stick it into the computer. Here's the SIG 2 for the Signature 2 series, and then when you turn it sideways, that just looks really, really sharp in your desktop. It says EVGA GeForce GTX 660. I can't imagine how awesome these would look if he had 2 of them to do SLI. On this side, you see some of the heat pipes, and I really like this casing. It's a really hard plastic. It's actually almost like it is a hard metal kind of casing. One of the harder styles that I've seen, and I kind of really like that because even though it's hard and sturdy, the actual card does not feel that heavy. So it probably will not weigh on your motherboard too heavily. On the back of it, we can see right in there and see the really nice heat sink in there up to the fans. So that looks really sharp. If we pull over to this side, we see that we only have one power port here to come from the power supply. So that's really nice, especially if cords are tight into your PC. Obviously there's the bottom. Really cool plate again here that says EVGA. Once again, I know there's a lot of cool graphics cards out there, but for me personally, this one has looked the best out of any that I've seen. On the end cap here, we have some DisplayPort ports, HDMI as well, and then obviously DVI and DVI for your 4-monitor support. And then here's the another heatsink in there with a vent. So overall, this card takes up 2 slots like any good card, but it looks really, really nice. Let's go ahead and see how to hook it up with the HD PVR2. Alright, so here's both pieces of hardware. Obviously, we have the Hauppauge HD PVR2, the best capture card on the market. We have our EVGA NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660 Signature 2 card right here. And I'm going to show you, this is obviously the setup when this would be in the desktop PC. This would be outside. And believe me, I know it sounds like common sense, but I do have to explain that a little bit. So this is actually the setup of the card. We're running HDMI out, and this does have surround sound going out of it as well. HDMI out into the Hauppauge HD PVR2 input, which is this one right here. Then we have HDMI going out of the Hauppauge HD PVR2 into the monitor. Here we have the USB cable going into our single PC setup, so it is going into the computer for data. And then we have the power port as well. And so this has to be plugged in for you to be able to use the HD PVR2. The beautiful thing about this setup, unlike something like Fraps or a screen capture software, the video that's coming out of your video card is being encoded right in your HD PVR2, not affecting your PC setup. Alright, let's go ahead and switch over to the desktop PC and see how all this works together. Alright gamers, well I've hooked everything up as I showed you in the full live diagram. I have the EVGA NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660 Signature 2 Edition in my PC. And as you can see, this funky looking screen here is the Hauppauge Capture software. Now I'm going to show you a couple pointers that I haven't showed you before when you're recording PC gameplay footage in high definition with the HD PVR2 on a single PC. So when you open the Hauppauge Capture software, this is where you're going to see a bunch of repeating backgrounds. And I'm actually going to show you a really cool tip and trick to get great audio with the device, as well as higher performance video capturing. So if you go over here to the Settings tab, and you'll see this Use Hardware Acceleration. If you just click on No Video, what that does is reduces the preview. So actually you'll see preview disabled, so you just see the frozen screen here with no preview video, which actually makes the Hauppauge HD PVR2 use less than 1% of your PC's resources when capturing in high definition. Now I also have video input going through HDMI and audio input through HDMI. I'm actually going to click on this mute button over here as well and mute that audio, and this all of the steps we just took help prevent echoing audio, so you get really nice high definition audio playback in your video as well. Now obviously you can use live commentary through your headset if you want to do that, but I have that muted because I'm doing a layover video for this demonstration. So now that I'm obviously recording with the HD PVR2, using that footage over there, I'm actually going to go ahead and minimize this. And I'm going to show you one of my favorite parts about the EVGA GeForce GTX 660. It comes with the software, the NVIDIA GeForce Experience, and it imports all of, well, most of my leading games, the ones that are compatible with, and shows you what my rig is. So I have the GTX 660, the AMD FX 8350 8-core processor, 16 gigabytes of Kingston HyperX RAM, and it shows you all those things, and then it optimizes those games. So if I click on some of these different games, you'll see the word optimize. I can actually click on the word optimize here for Company of Heroes, and it optimizes the game using this GPU and my CPU for the best overall experience. Now I do have Fraps open over here as well, and as if you've watched our other videos, that is just for the counter of the frames per second. I'm not recording with that, obviously recording with the HD PVR2, but I'm just going to leave that counter up so you see the kind of experience. And I thought, you know, this EVGA GeForce GTX 660 card is a nice medium range, nice solid card. And I'm going to go ahead and I thought, why not try Crysis 3 and show some HD recording with some good HD audio using the HD PVR2 and the GeForce GTX 660. So I have Crysis 3 running already. It's already been optimized using the NVIDIA GeForce Experience. So let's go ahead and open that up and see what kind of experience we get with this card. So I'm in Crysis 3. I actually like to use the controller hooked up to my PC, and right now in the menu I'm getting 47 frames per second, which is really good for this game. As you know, Crysis 3 is very challenging on any PC. And so I'm going to go over to graphics and show you that I have it set to a system spec of high with VSync on. So obviously there is Ultra still available after that, but we're going with high for this setup for this nice solid mid-range card from EVGA here. And we're going to go ahead and back out and jump into the game and see what kind of frame rates we get here. So we're up to close to 50, bouncing between 45 and 50. Let's jump into some action here. Staying at 30 or above the whole time, which is really nice. Really good gameplay experience. So you can see how amazing, oh wow, I just got destroyed. You can see how amazing this very nice medium range card from EVGA is. It's the GeForce GTX 660. Works really well recording with the Hauppauge HD PVR2. I'm going to try to pull out the bow and arrow here. Even running very taxing games like Crysis 3. So getting good frames per second, staying above 30 with this medium range card, recording in high definition, and it's just an experience that you really can't beat. So if you're looking for a nice medium range card in the NVIDIA family, and you want the best quality possible, I highly recommend the EVGA GeForce GTX 660 for your PC. And you can even get some great experience capturing with the HD PVR2 for games like Crysis 3 with this setup. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe to the Hauppauge Gaming Zone. I'm Tony. I'm signing off, and I'll be back hopefully with more EVGA card reviews coming soon, as well as some other graphics cards overviews and some more great videos. Have a great day.